Dear everyone, I'm back today with a subject as to is there a purpose for our life? But my question is why should life have a purpose at all? We usually think that everyone born is born with a purpose, that we are born with a purpose. Even water is born or originates somewhere, but all its journey until it reaches the ocean, it moves with a spontaneous purpose and not with a fixed purpose. Like it moves softly and gently into a very narrow passage and swiftly and forcefully into a broad space. Water is soft as well harsh, like the vigorous tides. It is slow as well swift. It is shapeless as well can attain shape. It manifests the shape of whichever container it occupies into. Water's purpose is spontaneous. Sometimes it is soft like a dewdrop, sometimes hard like an iceberg, sometimes narrow, sometimes wide. But only man walks with a predetermined purpose in his mind. His purpose always extends to some kind of a destination. Like liberation, also, maybe liberation. Even liberation should not be a purpose. Liberation means it's a kind of a distant destination. But life is not a destination. Life is pulsating each and every moment. When you live your life fully here, then you need not search for eternity hereafter. If you search for purposes, you have to move towards it. It becomes your destination, which is afar, which is far away. But life is here, not hereafter. Just see a dried leaf. A dried leaf has no purpose at all. It is carried by the wind. It has no destination of any kind. It keeps on going wherever the wind carries it. Life's intrinsic quality is to live without purposes. And in Hinduism, we call it the divine Leela. Nothing in life can be tagged with a purpose to it. It's only at times when we become distressed or fed up in life with dealing with the vicious circumstances in our lives that we think, what is the purpose of my life here? From where have I originated and to where am I heading towards? We then search for meaning in life. See, for such eternal truths to reach to us, there must be two people. One is a sayer of truth and the other is the listener. But here, life is silent. Life does not speak anything of itself. And even if life speaks, you are anyway deaf towards it. You are not listening. Then how will the truth of life be revealed to you? Of course, stoic silence too speaks, but you are not listening to it. Then how will you understand life's worth? Bhadrachalam Ramadas had a great purpose in his life. His purpose was to build a temple to Lord Ram. And anyway, he was a noble serviceable officiate called as a collector or the Tahsildar to the then Hyderabad Nizam, Thana Shah. Ramdas requested his intention to the Nizam and the Nizam too gave his consent to the renovation of the project. Ramdas then appealed to the villagers to donate liberally for the construction of the temple. And as the temple was getting completed, he was still short of money. And so he utilized a portion of the tax revenues for the full completion of the temple. And as the temple was nearing completion, and it was completed very elegantly, this could not be digested by some wicked ministers. And they plotted against him and complained to the Nizam that Ramdas was misusing public money and that the treasury had been completely looted by him. Furious at this incident of his treachery to the Nizam restrained Ramadas to life solitary confinement into the Golconda Fort prison, and he be released only after the state received all the taxes in full. Now, though Ramdas was very generous and innocent, he was endlessly tortured for 12 long years in the prison. And inside the pitch dark prison, Ramdas sang to the Lord to rescue him. His 12 long years of vehemence vibrated the Lord, and the Lord appeared with similar names of Rama and Lakshmana and cleared him of all his debts. Ramdas was then released from jail. All his bewailments in the prison were weaved into kirtanas. Now, the purpose of Ramdas was to build a temple to Lord Ram. But he was cast into prison. This he never expected could happen in his life because he was very noble and also a very righteous person. He was a great devotee of Lord Ram too. He didn't misuse any money nor did he cheat the Nizam. He worked dedicatingly with a noble cause. And when unexpectedly cast into jail, Ramdas sang to the Lord to rescue him. He complained to the Lord. He implored his pain and agony to the Lord. And all his vehemences manifested the form of kirtanas. Now, whatever happens in life, it happens unexpectedly. But if we keep some preconceived notions of our lives, then it becomes difficult to mold ourselves to life's sudden twists and turns. Life is purposeful in itself. And when you live with purposes, you also start to expect appreciations and rewards from the world. When you live life fully, intensely, it is itself self-rewarding. Nobody needs to pat you on your back and appreciate the way you have lived your life. Nobody needs to crown you in a distant heaven. Nobody in heaven is excited to greet you inside heaven with pomp and show. Nor is anybody maliciously waiting in hell to curb you there either. Nobody is interested in your life. Everybody has come to lead their own life. So just live your life fully. Why should there be reasons or purposes in life? Why are we so accustomed to live only with reasons? Without any reason, we are even unable to laugh or cry. For every act of ours, we try to mendel it with a reason behind it. Nothing pops out of us without a purpose, whether be it even anger or love. For anger to flare up, we have a reason for it. Or to even love someone, we search for reasons. Maybe the reason is beauty, maybe the reason is brains, maybe it is character, or maybe power or post, whatever the reason it is. You always search for something in the other to find a favorable reason to link it with you. And this whole behavior is a human thing. Apart from humans, all other life forms are living their life without any purpose. Only humans have made their life into a purpose. Maybe it's because all other life forms live a satisfied life, but only humans are very extremely greedy. So greedy that they book a seat in heaven even before their arrival over there. All because man's purpose is tainted with a selfish motive. Look at the sun. It is not blazing to supply energy to all life forms on earth. Sun has no purpose to create life on earth. Life is just happening because of the sun's heat and other favorable conditions. Even the air is not blowing for your sake. Air is not blowing for you to breathe it in. It is blowing without any purpose. And you are breathing it in as a consequence to sustain yourself to be alive. Because you want to live, you are breathing air. But air is not blowing to keep you alive. In the same way, because you wanted a life partner, you knotted yourself with someone and then extended your family. Your children are growing not because they have a purpose for you or in their life, but because it is a child's potential to bloom fully. Its nature is to bloom into a full human. A seed has no reason to become a tree. It is its potentiality to grow into a fully blown up tree. So do not rely on reasons to live life. Just keep blooming because that is how nature has designed you to be. If you chase reasons, you also stop growing. See, until your love for someone is unconditional, your love is pure. But as your love ponders for reasons to love, then your love gets contaminated. Is there a reason for God to create such a beautiful and essential world for you? Creation is just an extension of God's love. He has no purpose to create the world. It is only His extension of love. God did not intend to torment Ramadas, nor even you. It is only His extension of love for you or for Him. In pleasure, you may recognize Him. And in pain, if you fail to recognize His love, then it shows you are living your life with purposes. And thank you for listening.